All right, good morning, everybody. Patty Goolsby out of the Denver metro area, welcoming you to our Friday morning Crossline Culture Call. We're really excited to be here this morning. Two quotes we share every week. First one is, a culture is strong when people work with each other, for each other, and a culture is weak when they work against each other for themselves. And the second one, which is my favorite, is a culture eats strategy for breakfast every time. I'm going to toss it over to Pro 6 Shannon Shine out of the Denver metro area to introduce our guest today. Shannon?
Thank you so much, Patty. And I just want to give a quick shout out to Sherry McDonald for suggesting our speaker for today, who I'm so excited for you to hear from this man. He's got an amazing story to tell. Let me read you quickly about his bio. William Lambert is in Pinehurst, North Carolina. He said he has been wholesaling supplements of one sort or another to retailers nationwide for 25 years. He was with another network marketing company in 2013 and grew that company to the higher ranks. And after he saw LifeVantage in March of 2018, he outright resigned from that company and income and was sponsored into LifeVantage on March 2018, began working in it April 2018, and with Jesus' blessing and wonderful upline and downline activity, he was able to hit Elite Pro 7 last month. Wow, I'm so excited to hear this story. William, please share it. Take it away.
Oh, wow. Thanks a lot. I certainly do appreciate y'all inviting me here. It's quite an honor. I've never even heard of you guys until now. Thank you, Sherry, for inviting me. This is a blessing. As far as my story is concerned, I have been in wholesale retail most of my life. A lot of that time has been self-employed. Some of that time, specifically for the last 10 years, has been working for a friend of mine who basically lets me run his office for him. As you can see, he's not here today or any other Friday. So this worked out really well. I discovered a product back in 2013 that really helped my mom. It gave her 3 years of extra life, and it changed her life so dramatically, and it shocked us all so dramatically that we decided, my sponsor and I decided that we were going to market it. And I had been in Amway early in my life, in my 20s. Stayed in it for about 7 years simply because I didn't want to admit failure. I didn't make any money at all, as most people don't. And there was actually one very valuable nugget that I took away from that. I was at a convention in Washington, D.C. one weekend, and there was a speaker on stage. All of their events were very elaborate and all top-notch. You know, it was super experience, because you got to hear so many wonderful testimonials and wonderful advice on how to build your business, which, and for me didn't really work. But anyway, for some it did. But this guy was on stage and he goes, and this is probably the #2 guy in Amway at the time. He's died now. He was just under Dexter Yeager, if you know his name. And Bill Britt said, look at the people on this stage. He says, if you want to know how to build your business, he said, I want to show you. He said, you see this guy right here? He said, he's a lawyer. He said, you see this guy? He's a stockbroker. You see that guy? He's a G16 in the federal government. You see this guy? He's a dentist. You see this guy? He's a coach. He said, now, what do all those people have in common? What is it they have in common? He said, they're all people of influence. And they all have very, very, very long lists. He said, one person sponsored all these guys. One person. And he said, who is that? He said, it's Paul Miller. Paul Miller was at the very top of the company. And he said, would you rather one of these people of influence sponsor you, or would you rather sponsor them? And I took that away. And when I saw this wonderful product back in 2013 that helped my mom, I said, I'm going to chase people of influence. I'm not going to do like I did when I was in Amway and go up and down the road all hours of the night and show up for one person, forget all that. I'm going to deal with hundreds of people. So my first person of influence was in Raleigh, North Carolina. She had about 8,000 followers on the internet. She does inspirational, biblical type emails each day out to her followers, giving people encouragement in life. And I approached her with the product. She loves my mom. And so I approached her, went and sat on her sofa, and she says, "But William, I'm not a salesperson." And I immediately called my sponsor on the phone, and I said, "Hey, Jackie," you'll hear her name a lot, Jackie Britt Kilby, in the coming months. I said, "Jackie," I said, "Debbie said she's not a salesperson." And she says, "Put me on speaker." So she told Debbie in no uncertain terms, she says, "Debbie, you were something much more valuable." And she says, "What could that be?" She said, "You are a person of influence. People listen to you. All you have to do is say it and they will do it." So if you think this product is good enough to have your seal of approval, you need to promote it on conference calls with William. So that's what we did. And this was like the second month I was involved with that company, and I was like at 0 in volume. And when Debbie came on board, within 30 days, we went to 16,000 in volume. And that was awesome. And so I got to thinking, I said, I know another guy of influence. So I approached him in March that year. And he flat out told me, "No, I'm too busy. I'm taking too many supplements anyway. I just don't have time." Click. And so I waited, and I prayed over him. I prayed over him, prayed over him, prayed over him. I said, "Lord, you got to give me the words. I don't know how to attract him." He said, "Just tell him it's a gift from me." I was like, "What?" He's like, "Yeah, just tell him it was a gift from me." So I called him back in June, and I said, "Hey, Frank." He's like, "Yeah, Will, what's up?" Because he'd already forgotten the other conversation. He's so busy. And he says, "What's up?" I said, "Jesus wanted me to call you and ask you when you're going to accept this free gift that he's given to me for you." And he starts giving me a shipping address. So we got him on the product. He was convinced of the product. And then I'll tell you the magic in my deal is this. When I called him back, it's about a month later, and we decided, we're going to start marketing this through his network channel on the internet. He has about 25,000 followers. And he said, "I don't want to get involved. You just come and advertise." Well, I should have taken him up on that because it'd been a lot more money in my pocket. But I told him, "No, Frank," I said, "you do so much for other people. I want you involved." I said, "I want you to be blessed by what's about to occur." So I cut him a deal. And I said, "You expose me to your followers." Y'all might want to write this down. "Expose me to your followers. Let me do these conference calls each week. You promote the call that's about to occur and come to the call and introduce me and transfer your credibility to me. And that's all you have to do. I will build your business for you. I will build it for you." When he went to his first corporate event with that company, he hit the top of the company. I took him all the way to the top of the company. Well, there you go, right there. I told you. Anyway, he was there, and the people there were asking him questions. They were saying, "How'd you do this? How'd you do that? What's your rank? Blah, blah." He's like, "I don't have a clue." He's like, "William Lambert, talk to him. He's the guy that did it for me." I mean, that was just our deal. That's what I promised him I would do, and I fulfilled it. Now, when I came to Life Vantage, I brought Frank with me. I brought Debbie with me, and they were instrumental in my success. I also attracted a YouTuber. I made him a deal. And when I make these deals, not only do I give them these promises and assurances, but I also ask them for 1 in 4 signups, so I can keep my organization balanced, so it doesn't get all out of whack. And that's proven to be a good deal. I'm 48, 45, 13 on my legs. So that's pretty cool because you can stay in control as well. Not only make them money and get them to the higher ranks. Both of those guys, Debbie's a Pro 4, Frank's a Pro 5, and David's a Pro 5 now. So they're moving up in the ranks as well. David won the Ireland trip. So we're really excited about him coming to Ireland. I've never met him in person. And until I went to that corporate event with Frank, it was the first time I'd met him. And we were very excited to meet these people. This has all been handled on the telephone and on Facebook Instant Messenger. So if you're wondering, and let me tell you this, if you're wondering how you're going to, you don't know anybody of influence or anything like that, these are 3 strangers that I approached. I didn't know them. I just knew the Lord was drawing me in their direction. I knew of them, but I didn't know them, and they didn't know me. So it was a straight business deal as far as they're concerned. Now, as we go through the years and as I make them money, they learn to trust me more, and they would follow me anywhere now. And that's a wonderful experience. I know just about everything there is to know about my first 2 people's lives, and I'm getting to know my YouTuber a little better. We've only been involved about a year. But if you want to grow really fast, attract people of influence. You have to attract people of influence. And it's so strange, when we were in Charleston, you heard people of influence, influencers. And I was like, wow, they're just catching on. We went Pro 5 in 41 days. And then from Pro 5 to Pro 7 was a longer trudge because there's a lot more volume involved. So we knew it was going to take a while. We did have one down month over that 11-month period. I think we lost, we were under by 900 points. That was all. Every other month, it was between 6,000 and 12,000 in growth each month. Well, 4,000 and 12,000 growth. So we figured as long as we're ahead, we're happy, we're not complaining. Now, how do you figure all this out? Well, the thing I had in my back pocket was a wonderful upline. Jackie Britt Kilby was an encourager for me. During the first 6 or 8 months, she was very sick and she couldn't work it like she wanted to and like I would have preferred her to, because she's a very big supporter. She will come in and love on my entire team, 100% of the time. It's crazy how she does it. But Dr. Rich Petrus and Steve Price were my upline. Steve was my upline Pro 6, and Dr. Rich was my upline Pro 5. And they saw what was happening with me. Actually, I enticed Dr. Rich to come to my very first conference call and do the presentation, and he did. And I said, okay, now, Dr. Rich, I said, my phone's going to blow the heck up because I give my phone number and my email address out. I said, can you help me on some 3-ways? He's like, sure, no problem, call anytime. 3 straight weeks. And he said, I got to go. You're blowing me up. I'm all out of whack. I got to get over to my other legs. You're on your own, buddy. And I mean, but he was there all the time, every time, early in the morning, late at night, didn't matter. During the middle of the day, he was there. So the most valuable thing you can have is a helpful upline. If you can't find anyone to help you in your upline, go hire, because there are people up there that want to help you and they will be there for you. Okay. Seek them out. You're not bothering them. Don't get that idea. I mean, I'm a Pro 7 now, and I've still got distributors, not a Pro 1, not a Pro 2, not a Pro 3, that have people call me and they go, Rick told me that you were his assistant and that I should call you for some assistance on some information with this or possibly buy it. And I'm like, yeah, I am Rick's assistant, actually. I said, you know, I'll be happy to help you any way I can. And so when the guy's ready to buy on that call, I go to Rick's site and I sign him up. That's just what you do. Dr. Rich, at that time, I knew absolutely nothing. And so he and his wife would actually go to my site and sign people up for me, or they would go to Frank's site and they would sign people up for Frank, you know, depending on where the people were supposed to fall. And, you know, it's very important that you have that support. It's very important you have someone above you that has the knowledge that is available on the phone all the time. It's inconvenient a little bit for that person maybe, but they don't care because that's how we grow. That's how we grow. And I don't work this stuff very long during the day, probably a couple hours a day, but I'm always ready for the phone to ring. I'm always ready for the phone to ring. If it rings, I'm texting back, say, can I call you at 5? Or, can I call you later? Or, and they're like, sure. Some of them don't have cell phones though. So, you have to pick them up because they called you twice. Anyway, it's an amazing business. I could not ignore, that's my boss. Hang on a minute. Hey, bud. Pardon me?
Oh goodness, this is.
I'll give her a call. All right. Nothing. I'm just going through the stuff. All right, I'll call you when I'm finished. Guys, I'm
what
so
you call
sorry.
working the plan, right? You're
Wow,
working.
you gotta pick it up if it's the boss.
That's right. That's right. Okay, I know you've got a great story, and I've been writing. I've got a whole page of notes already.
Go
and
ahead,
I'm
darling.
sure
Go ahead. I'm gonna shut up because that's pretty much it. That's pretty much it.
So you've got a story that a lot of people don't get to hear very often, and that is the story of being exposed to and recruiting those influencers into your business. Those who've got that great. Okay, so there's a couple things. First of all, I want you to say why LifeVantage. Tell us why LifeVantage, because you've had
Why LifeVantage? Well, number one, a lady chased me for 3 months. I was out of networking. I was going to leave. I was going to get out. I was going strictly wholesale retail because the last company I was with was just falling apart, and I was not happy at all with networking. And when I saw LifeVantage after 3 months of running from the lady, she said, just watch the videos. So I got on YouTube and I watched videos for 3 stinking days straight. And that was amazing. It just blew my mind. I figured this stuff cost $1,000 a bottle. And that was amazing. So then it was the science. And then I got to look at the comp plan. And I was like, I'm in. Signed up immediately, and resigned the other company immediately as well.
Awesome. Okay, I'm so glad. Thank you. Shannon?
Okay, so I am so glad that you're talking about influencers. And yes, we are hearing that all the time since South Carolina. It's popping up all over the place.
Yeah.
I'm sure people are wondering.
We're signing them up down there.
How do you find the influencers?
Great question. I'm focusing on YouTube right now. All right. The first thing you do is you go to YouTube and you find a genre that you're comfortable with, that you enjoy watching. You like the person, whatever, because they're pretty transparent on YouTube. Then I get the name of the person if I can find it. Some of them go by synonyms, so you have to do some work. And this is the major part of the work, actually. Then you go to Facebook and you try to find that person on Facebook. If they're there, you go back to their YouTube channel and you hit subscribe and you hit the bell for notifications, and then you send them a note through Facebook Messenger. And you say something along the lines, hi, my name's William Lambert. I'm from Pinehurst, North Carolina. I really like what you're doing on YouTube, and I would like to support your efforts financially. Can you give me a quick call so I can explain? Give them my phone number. Boom, I'm done. I send them nothing else ever. If they respond, great. If they don't, I'll wait a few months and I'll send it to them again. Okay. Now, right now, I counted them the other day and I got 125 people that I'm subscribed to, and I haven't contacted them all. I just was interested in them, and I said, well, I'll come back and get them later when I'm not busy, And that's the way I do it. Now, when they call me, I just give them the spiel on how I'd like to build their business, what we've done in the past for people, what their incomes are like, and see if they're interested. If they are, I'll send them an email with my link and some testimonials and the LV GoPro Science studies, and set a date for them. I said, I'll call you back in exactly 7 days. If you want me before then, call me, but I'm not going to bother you. So in 7 days, I call them back. That's about it. If they're interested, I sign them up as a distributor. If they're not, we don't. And if we do get them, we don't wait. We set that stinking conference call for the very next week. And if it's early in the week, we'll set it for later in the week, that week. We don't wait. We need this production. We need this production quickly, and we need it right away. So we don't wait.
So a lot of that, I mean, I know this is a way above a lot of people that have just joined network marketing, and they're just joining, you know, they love the product, they fell in love with the product, and they just want to just get in and share the product. So how do you help someone come into your business that isn't like, they're just like, I just want to share the product, I want to do this. How do you? I
let Jackie onboard them.
Okay. Team effort.
We call it onboarding, where we go through the steps, the pay setter bonuses and things of that nature. Where do you want to go? Because it is all about where the person coming in wants to go, and you have to find out where they want to go first. The person that, see, the thing with me was, I didn't want to present to one person or two people or three people or four people. I wanted to present to hundreds daily. And that's what I chased. And that's what we have. We have my organization, I want people of influence throughout it to secure the people below, to secure their future. And for those people that just want Pro 2, Pro 3, Pro 4, that's fine. We need those folks. But, you know, I'll be there for them just like I am for the distributor. I told you, you know, he called and said I'm his assistant. I tell all my people that. We have Saturday Zooms every Saturday, and we just sit around on the couch and yak it up. You know, it's no real structure like you guys got here. We just sit around, and whoever wants to talk talks, and we go over it and answer questions and stuff like that. But I tell them all, I'm like, just tell them that I'm your assistant and give them my phone number if you don't know what to say. You know, in the beginning, I had people say, well, what if I got cancer? What if I got diabetes? What if I got thyroid problems? What if I got a wart on my butt? You know, whatever it might be, right? Here's the thing. It's all caused by the same thing. Over 400, 450 diseases are caused by oxidative stress, or it has a direct correlation to oxidative stress. So the premise is this, and this is exactly what I tell them every time. If you get rid of the cause, what do you think is going to happen to your symptoms? The brainy thing to say would be it should dissipate or possibly disappear, right? Well, that's what we're thinking as well. But it's not a cure. It doesn't do anything except communicate with the cells. That's all it does. And the cells do the work, and the body does the work. Our product does no work except talking. That's what we do. Just like me, I just talk.
Okay, I love it. I love it. A couple of things you said, and I think this is a great I am statement, is I'm always ready for the phone to ring.
Yeah.
So everybody out there, I'm always ready for the phone to ring. I love that. And then you said Jackie loves your team, you know, loves on the team.
Right.
Tell me, it sounds like you guys know each other's strengths, and I think that's very important working in business together. How did you guys come about that? I mean, how did you?
Well, we've known each other since we were 4 years old, and we got the pictures to prove it. She got me in my first networking gig, which was this one in 2013, and it just sort of evolved into this relationship. Hey, you bring them in, I'll love on them, you know. And she was so unbalanced in the beginning of LifeVantage because I was just streaking, and her other legs were over there, you know, doing whatever they were doing, and she was like not caring at all. She's like, let's keep she just takes gasoline and pours it on me, you know. So that was a cool thing, and that's what you want. When I call Jackie, I don't want to hear about her other legs. You know, I want to talk about me, and I have to keep that in mind when my people call me. They don't want to hear about my other organizations. It's about them. It's about them only. So if you're talking other legs to your downline, that's a no-no. Please don't do that because it's just not good. You don't want to do that. Anyway. Negative. You never talk negative downline. Anything you got negative say, that goes that way only, because they're used to it and they can take care of it for you. I don't have time for negativity from pretty much anybody because I can't think of anything that there's negative to say about this company or this product. Amazon, I love it. I love bringing that up first to my customers, to my prospects. Hey, it's going to be there. Yeah, it's fake. Don't worry about it. Don't buy it. It'll kill you. Then I send them 5 articles from Forbes, the Wall Street Journal, Washington Post, talking about fakes on Amazon. There
Wow.
you go.
That's good. That's good. Shannon?
Good.
Wow.
Okay, William, you are just cracking me up this morning. So I have a question. You said culture. You wanted to talk about culture, and I'm looking, we've got 5 minutes.
Okay, let's cover that.
Yeah.
Listen, when I do my conference calls, I ask people to come and help me with telling their experience with the product. I'm not going to talk to you right now. Somebody in Oklahoma. Anyway, don't even know their name. Anyway, I ask people to join me, and I have a bunch of folks here. Hang on a minute, I'm gonna show them to you. Test you. Oh, please tell me I can't spell. Anyway, on my phone, I have a list of people who have a testimonial. And a lot of them are cross-line folks. They won't earn one dime off of helping me. But they're here. Just like Sherry. She came in last night and spent, I don't know, a half hour with us maybe. Just trying to share. And that's what it's about. That's what this whole deal's about. Can you pick that up? Thank you. Anyway, that's what this whole deal's about, is helping one another, whether it's upline, downline, crossline, whatever. If Darren Jansen calls me and says, hey, can you help me sign somebody up, I'm going to do it. You know, it just doesn't matter. And so, you know, that's what this culture, this is what networking should be. It's not about me. It's not about you as an individual. It's about us as a team. That's why I put myself out there and I help these people of influence. That's why I put myself out there for my downline, telling them, I'm your assistant, please use me. Make my phone ring, please. Let me sign people up for you, please. They don't have to do anything except just send them to me. I'll take care of it. And if they have a health question or something like that, you know, I'm there with that as well. Now, our upline Pro 8s have been very, very helpful. Brian and Holly Highfield. I can call her any moment and she picks up her phone. It doesn't matter if she's changing a diaper, if she's in the swimming pool or whatever, she's going to pick her phone up. If she doesn't, it's because she's talking with someone else and she's going to call me back in about 10 minutes or less. She always returns it. Always return, always return. If you're in the bed, nah, call them tomorrow. Don't worry about it. Sometimes you just have to go to bed early. But if you're up and it's midnight or 1 o'clock and the phone rings and you're not just dead to the world, pick it up. It's somebody in California, for goodness sakes. It's only 9 or 10 o'clock out there. So
I love that. So you're running, but it's others centered. The focus is on.
Absolutely. All about others. And I like to focus on the ones that want to run fast. And if they're running fast and keeping my phone ringing, like you can hear over here, that's who I spend my time with for the most part. But if my phone rings, like I said, with the distributor, I'm gonna pick that up too. But they don't require as much time because they don't want to run as fast, which is okay. But you still give them your time, and you still invite them to all the teaching events and the academies, and you try to get them over to Kansas City. You know, all that. You know. It's all about growth, volume-wise, and growth personal-wise. And I must tell you, before I get off this call, my number one partner is Jesus Christ. Because when you can't do it, when you can't get the courage to make that call, when you can't get it through this prospect's thick head, that this is what he needs to do, Jesus can. He can work in a way that you never could. And you must keep that relationship very, very close and talk to him moment by moment through the day. Because he will change your life, he will change your family's life, and he will definitely blow your business up. Because he knows what you're going to do with it when you get it. Boom.
Boom.
I can't think of a better way to end the call. That was amazing. That was fabulous.
Absolutely. William, thank you for blessing us this morning. Sherry, thank you for hooking us all up. You all have a fabulous Friday. And if I don't see you today, I look forward to hearing you and having my phone blowing up because I'm waiting for it to ring. Love you all. Have a great Friday. See you next week. Same time, same place. Bye, everybody.
Bye, guys.
Bye.
Thank you.